It's a very warm welcome back to a second half independent off-tube studio commentary. The second half is just about to get underway at the Bayt Stadium, the last of the quarter-finals at the Qatar 2022 World Cup. England trailing by a goal to nil against France. An excellent strike from Oriol Tchouameni. Really put his foot through the ball from outside the box. It nutmegged Jude Bellingham before it beat Jordan Pickford low down. That was on 17 minutes. England frustrated as they felt as though Bukayo Saka may have been brought down in the build-up to that goal. Nothing was reviewed. The goal stood. Then there was a penalty appeal. Harry Kane looked to have been brought down by Dayot Upamecano. Well, there was some debate as to whether it was inside the box or not. VAR did check it, but no penalty was given. And the last 15 minutes of the first half, England had a lot of the ball, but couldn't really do much to test Hugo Lloris. The second half is now underway. It's myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz, and Rob Eddy taking you through the action. Rob, England, some positives, but just need to be a bit more direct in the second half, we think.
Yeah, I think, well, they've got to step up the tempo. They've got 45 minutes left. I know they're only 1-0 down, but they've got to ask more questions. Lloris made 2 saves, of course, but one of those were from outside the box, and it was deflected. So they've got to be a little bit more urgent. I'd like to see, Saka at least take on his man. I don't think England have been quick enough in possession. Times have obviously a bit more of a factor in the second half. Here goes Bellingham, though, on one of his runs. Another challenge comes in from Dembele. The referee's playing the advantage, though, because Foden has it.
He does. Foden gets across, puts a ball in, which is now put out for a corner to England, but the referee hasn't forgotten that challenge in the build-up, and Ousmane Dembele is going to get a booking here from our Brazilian referee, Wilton Pereira Sampaio, getting his cards out inside the first minute. That's a lunge there from Ousmane Dembele. It's always a worry when an attacking player tries to do something defensive.
Yeah, but I do think Bellingham was making the most of this. It's a trip as much as anything, but he has got in the book, though, so they've got to do something. But that's running at defenders, making them make tackles. That's what we haven't seen enough of as England fans. The passing's been too safe.
He has Foden now with the corner for England. He aims at the edge of the 6-yard box at the back post, and then drops to Bellingham, who puts his foot through it, and it's tipped over the bar by Hugo Lloris. It was a really powerful strike from Jude Bellingham, and we'll just see from the replay. This looked like it was going straight down the middle. If that same strike goes into the corner, I don't think Lloris gets there.
No, I think it's probably hitting the underside of the crossbar. Needed saving. It's a fantastic strike from Bellingham. And obviously he needs to make more of an impact going forward.
Well, it's Foden now. It's going to be an in-swinging corner from the right-hand side. Plenty of players to aim for inside the box. 2 players really jostling for position inside the 6-yard box, as well as Foden whips that in towards the back post. Aims at Maguire. It's just inside the 6-yard box, but it drops harmlessly in the end towards Hugo Lloris, who makes the save. Maguire's header, I don't think that was a header towards goal. I think he's heading that across the 6-yard box, and it just needed a bit more luck when it reached Declan Rice.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of Koundé and Declan Rice, and it just rebounded back to him, didn't he, Lloris? Having another look at that Bellingham strike, that was travelling, it was under the crossbar, he's going in. So that's 3, decent saves that Lloris has made. That could be the difference in this game. They still lead by a goal to nil. Good start to the second half from England, positive. They've got another man on a yellow card as well. But obviously, they've got to find that equaliser somehow. They
do, yes. Just to remind you, Pickford in goal for England. A back 4 of Walker, Stones, Maguire and Shaw. Henderson, Rice and Bellingham with the 3 in midfield, with Saka, Foden and Kane as the 3 up front for France. It's Lloris in goal, back 4 of Koundé, Varane, Upamecano and Hernandez. Tchouameni and Rabiot as the 2 holder midfielders, with Dembele, Griezmann and Mbappe as the 3 ahead of them. Giroud is the front man for France. There's very nearly Henderson picking the ball off Upamecano there. He's then challenged by Bukayo Saka, and that is going to be a free kick to France. There wouldn't have been a free kick for what Henderson was trying to do. He was frustrated there. Jordan Henderson thought he might have had a chance of hitting France on a quick counter, but as it is, they've taken the free kick short here, Didier Deschamps' men, and they're just quite happy to hold the ball around about the halfway line, with Hernandez now on the left-hand side. He clips the ball over the top, looking for Rabiot. Now it's with Mbappe right on that left touchline. He's got Henderson and Walker for company. Henderson now very he's furious there, Jordan Henderson. He can't believe that free kick's been given against him. We'll see from the replay here as Mbappe, it's almost like the old Vardy trick of Mbappe sort of sticking a leg out, hoping for a challenge there.
I mean, I don't know if the referee's given a yellow card, but yeah, it's a dive, and it's a terrible decision, really. He's let plenty go. That was my fear at the start of the game, that the referee would just buy theatrics. He didn't do it for a half. England didn't get any of the decisions.
Well, I do always think that sometimes the star men of the World Cup, people like Messi and Mbappe, they just get that little bit more credibility with the referee there. I mean, I agree. I didn't think there was anything in that live, and seeing the replay there, I don't think there was anything that at all. But the free kick's been given. England have got to get over it now, and they've got to try and defend here, because it is Griezmann, the left-footed ball in from that left-hand side. Harry Kane once again in defensive duty, heads that ball away at the edge of the 6-yard box. It drops here to Dembele over on the right-hand side. He goes back towards Jules Koundé. Koundé's ball is just behind Hernandez, but he still has enough time to recover before Henderson closes him down, and then it's played back towards Lloris, who thunders that one straight back towards the edge of the England penalty area. I think Giroud is still coming back from a offside position. He's wagging his finger like he doesn't agree, but the decision's been made. The free kick's been taken quickly. He's hardly had a touch of the ball as well for most of the game, Giroud.
I don't think that's unexpected, though, is it? Obviously, they haven't they took the lead in the 17th minute. They've not been desperate to get the ball downfield. He has, of course, had that headed chance from the Dembele cross, but that was at 0-0. And you know, he's just leading the line. He's trying to be the focal point. But you know, France are playing arguably within themselves. If England get a goal, it might be different. But I think he's just doing a job at the moment. Trying to, I don't know, sit on Declan Rice and stop him having any time on the ball.
Well, here come England now, just trying to hold the ball in, well, almost in attacking midfield. They're having to go back towards the halfway line. And Henderson again with Saka trying to develop something on that right-hand side. It's something that we mentioned off air at half-time, that Kyle Walker, who you normally associate with bombing forward for England and for Manchester City, he's clearly been told not to do that as a sort of safety against Mbappe. But now a ball played through towards Saka. He breaks into the box, plays it across the 6-yard box. It's cleared away. A second effort coming in from Henderson. That's charged down. That's better from England. Saka finally getting some joy. But now England have to be careful, because the ball does reach Mbappe and he threads it through towards Giroud. Giroud, was he offside? Well, even if he wasn't, it's a poor touch from Olivier Giroud. England now have it back with Stones. He plays it to Henderson. And now Bukayo Saka, England with their tails up here. Saka down the right-hand side. He's got Adrian Rabiot for company. Hernandez is back there as well, but Saka gets a ball into Bellingham. Bellingham back to Saka. Saka goes down, and that's got to be a penalty. And the referee points to the spot, and it's the goal scorer, Tukameni, that brings down Bukayo Saka. England now with a chance to equalise on 52 minutes.
Well, you imagine it would be a VAR check to just make sure, but I mean, he didn't get the rub of the green from the referee in a couple of incidences in the first half. But what were we saying? We were chatting off air. I want to see him run at defenders, make them make challenges. That's exactly what he's done. It's Drew, a rash challenge from Tukameni inside the box. He doesn't win the ball. It's got to be a penalty. And that's because he's running at him. And it hasn't taken long in the second half. Gareth Southgate may well have said that, because it was his run moments ago that led to a bit of panic. He's been more aggressive. Harry Kane's got a chance to level matters up. And I don't think there's any doubt about that penalty.
No, there isn't. As I say, Mbappe just jogging back towards Hugo Lloris, potentially just a little bit of mind games here, just to try and delay Harry Kane's taking of the penalty. He's taken 19 penalties for England. Harry Kane has scored 16 of them. So how important is it that his 20th penalty is successful? A great chance here now for England. As two club teammates, Kane against Lloris. I'm sure they've taken plenty of practice penalties against each other at the Spurs training ground. This is a slightly bigger arena now in this World Cup quarter-final. 53 minutes gone. Harry Kane against Hugo Lloris. A chance to put England level, put England back on track in their attempts to try and get into this World Cup semi-final. Kane waiting for the whistle. It's taking a very long time here. This always is real pressure on the penalty kick taker. I'm not quite sure what Wilton Pereira Sampaio is waiting for. It may well be there's some encroachment at the edge of the box, but now second attempt here as Kane now steps forward. Referee's happy. Lloris dancing on his line, but Kane is ready. Referee's ready. Kane steps up and he sends Lloris the wrong way. It's a thundering penalty as well. Lloris goes left, Kane goes right. Even if Lloris guessed where that was going, I don't think he saves it.
No, I mean, it's high into the top corner, and there's nothing he could do. I mean, it was interesting. I don't think Harry Kane was looking at Lloris up until he was given the green light to take the penalty, actually go forward on his run-up. So he's looking off to the camera. Obviously, he's getting his focus. Club teammates, who knows how many penalties that Lloris has faced from Harry Kane. But he hasn't tried to be clever. He's hit it hard. He's hit it high. He's found a top corner. It's not obviously right in the top corner. It's high enough. Maybe if he'd gone the right way, there's a chance, but he's hit it so hard that it would have been a good save. But he didn't go the right way. England are back on terms, and I think on chances and shots and the fact that Lloris has made 3-4 saves already, it's nothing more than England deserve.
It's not. It's the perfect time to score as well. Right at the start of the second half, Gareth Southgate and his assistant Steve Holland absolutely delighted with that. And it's all level now with 55 minutes on the clock. It's England 1, France 1. And all to play for now with Morocco awaiting in the semi-final. We are back underway now with France in possession. Jules Koundé with a ball over the top. It's too long for Giroud, but it gets through to Rabiot, who hits it early. He was worried that he might not have the pace to get away from the England defenders, so Adrien Rabiot puts his foot through it, and the Juventus man forces a good save from Pickford. Well, it's another one of those cliched expressions that you're most likely to concede just after you've scored yourself, and England very nearly proving that.
I mean, that was just awful defending. I don't know why John Stones left it. I think Harry Kane is running out of play, and it's going to be a France throw. But I don't know why he left it. He was into it in the middle, and there's just a massive hole there, and it's a good shot, good save from Pickford. I mean, it's just terrible defending. If I'm Jordan Pickford, I'm having a right go at my defence stroke midfield. Why was there such a big gap through the middle? But, you know, Pickford's come up trumps, and England get away with it.
It's a great save from Pickford because it's one of those shots that just bounces before it hits the keeper's hands. He's really got to make sure that he puts strong hands on that. But Gareth Southgate straight away, we just saw him reacting to that France chance, just pointing to his forehead, telling his England players, come on, just think, because that was a very avoidable situation as Kane put under pressure there from Rabiot in midfield, and France now win it back with Mbappe heading off down the left-hand side. He's got Kyle Walker for company. Mbappe takes him on for pace, gets away from Kyle Walker, breaks into the box, lays it off for Giroud. Giroud leaves it here for Dembele, who doesn't hit it first time, but he lays it off to Griezmann. Griezmann then plays a very strange ball across the penalty area. I think either he's miscued that or he's just misjudged it, Griezmann, but it's cleared away by Henderson, and now a ball over the top for Foden to chase. Can he keep it in play? He's trying his best there, the Man City man. Just a bit too much bounce on that, and it's out for a France throw. But Mbappe, he certainly had the beating of Walker there.
Well, I mean, this is the problem with, I don't know, sitting on a 1-0 lead. You're not really threatening the opposition. Now, all of a sudden, England have pulled it back, and France are turning up. It's like, why are you doing that at 1-0? Why not do it at 1-0? Really ask the questions out of England. Unfortunately for France, the touch from Dembele, I thought was a lovely little step over in the middle there, but Dembele couldn't quite take it in his stride, and the chance went. But England have scored. France have had two good opportunities. Obviously, one was a shot from the edge of the box, and that one didn't lead to a shot. But as soon as England have scored, there's two chances for France.
Well, there is, although now Giroud's a bit frustrated with Raphael Varane, because that's just a ball over the top to no one in particular. Catching practice in the end for Jordan Pickford. But, yeah, that's certainly rewarding for England. France have actually had two decent chances to take the lead, retake the lead, just within a couple of minutes of England equalising. So now, very slow possession, slow and steady possession here for England, playing out from the back with Luke Shaw just getting under a bit of pressure there from Dembele. Going back towards Jordan Pickford. Giroud's closing him down. Stones now under pressure from Giroud, taking maybe one touch too many before he clears it towards the halfway line, headed up in the air by Bukayo Saka. England could have done better in that, playing out from the back, but France make a bit of a mess of it going forward now as Giroud and Mbappe conspire to lose the ball, and then it's headed forward. Looks like it was Hernandez with the header, but that just goes straight out for a goal kick. But this is like a sort of mini time-out for England now, just to take stock of what's happened in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, regroup, get plans sorted out again. Obviously, the change you imagine, but I mean, I'd still like to see England give Saka the ball, run at the defenders. Foden's had quite a quiet game. He just got involved there, but edge of the box, he's looking for a pass back, and that led to a mistake, and France were breaking. I think it should be a little bit more aggressive, look for a ball in the box. If there isn't one, run into the box. You know, France have already given away one penalty. On another day, it might have been two. Run at them. But, yeah, I just wonder if England have gone in their shells again a fraction. But get Saka the ball and get Foden a little bit more involved. I think he's had a quiet game.
He has. Foden has had a quiet game, and that doesn't mean to say he's going to have a quiet 90 minutes. Foden is one of these players that can produce something out of nothing. Perhaps just a little bit restricted in the way that England are set up, but that's understandable. You know, England are trying to negate a threat here from France, and that threat has just increased now since England have equalised. France really seem to be going for it now as Giroud closes down Harry Maguire. But he's got enough time to go back towards Jordan Pickford. 59 minutes gone, independent off-tube studio commentary. It's England 1, France 1. As John Stones rolls the ball forward to Declan Rice. On the right-hand side now for Henderson, closed down by Rabiot. And here is Bukayo Saka playing the ball back in towards Declan Rice. England just getting a little bit stuck here in midfield. France are just pushing up a little bit higher now. It's going to need a little bit more creativity here from Gareth Southgate's men. We mentioned just off air at half-time potential substitutions. That was when it was 1-0. Now at 1-1, I just wonder if Southgate's got any thoughts on a change. I'll get your thoughts on that in a minute, Rob, because here comes Bukayo Saka with a great run. The effort from Saka, though, is a tame one in the end. He couldn't quite get the backswing he wanted to really get a strike on goal that would have put Lloris under pressure. But Saka playing through the middle this time and almost getting some joy.
Well, I mean, this is the encouragement that he needs. I know the right-footed shot isn't obviously his strongest side, but it's hit the target, it's forced the save, it's an easy save. But he's running at the defence and they're backing off. They're not wanting to make challenges. He manages to find the space to get the shot. The next shot he does might be a better one, as Mbappe's in a very central position at the moment. Yeah,
he is, and he finds Dembele on the right-hand side. He's cutting in onto his left foot. Strike is stopped just in front of the 6-yard box there by John Stones, out for a throw to France down the right-hand side. Koundé into Dembele, who's got Bellingham for company, but Dembele holds on to the ball, trying to generate something here, Dembele, and he does find a pass to Mbappe at the edge of the box. He did have Rabiot on the overlap. That's good work, though, as England win the ball back. It was Henderson with the challenge, and now Bellingham is heading through the middle here for England, but the pass to Foden, just a little bit away from Phil Foden, but he should still be able to get there, keep it in play, and hold the ball up until some support arrives. He does well to skip away from Koundé and from Griezmann. He goes back into Bellingham in midfield, and now with Henderson over towards Saka on the right-hand side. England about 30 yards out from goal at this stage, as Saka trying to take on Hernandez, right-hand edge of the penalty area. Henderson goes on the overlap, but that was ignored by Saka. It's with Kane now. Kane trying a left-footed effort from outside the box. It's on target, but again, it's nothing difficult for Lloris.
No, he's not afraid to shoot, though. I mean, France have got to be wary that we're not afraid to shoot. I mean, not that they're not all going to be shots that are tame as that. Obviously, Kane's shooting on his weaker left. Saka was shooting on his weaker right. But if France are aware that we're going to shoot on, not quite on sight, but in and around the box, they might have to be a little bit more aggressive in their defending. But better play from England. They've settled down after scoring the goal. France look to be getting back on top, but it's an even contest. It's a tough one to call, as I think many thought ahead of play. 1-1, time running out. Who's going to blink first?
Well, it's as I say, at the moment, it does seem to be France in the ascendancy, although Dembele's run is just stopped at the edge of the box by Luke Shaw. England then tried to play it out. Bellingham finding Foden. He's already got 3 French players trying to close him down, but Foden skips through all of them, and then he's brought down. In terms of efforts on target, England have had more of them, and that's certainly a good sign. They are trying to get more of an attacking flair in this second half. 11 efforts from England, of which 7 have been on target. France have had 5, but 3 of them have been on target. The referee is just telling off a couple of England players here, including Kane and Maguire, because the England players were demanding a booking here for Tchouaméni or for Griezmann, depending on who. Well, Griezmann's already on a yellow card, and I think that Gareth Southgate on the touchline was asking the same question. He felt that there was a booking there.
Yeah, the referee told him not to talk about a booking, and fair enough. I mean, I don't think it was a foul. If we go on what the referees let go, arguably it's a bigger man leaning into Foden. He lost balance, and certainly Griezmann isn't the person who fouled him. It's got to be Tchouaméni. He just happened to be the man that Foden was pushed into. So, I mean, England have just got to learn their lessons. If the ref doesn't want to give a yellow card, don't beg him to, because they'll get one themselves.
They will, absolutely. There was a short period, a short window, going back quite a few years, where anyone asking for a yellow card would get booked himself. But I think it was happening so much that the referee stopped enforcing that rule in the end. Meantime, England have lost the ball after taking that free kick, and Griezmann's away down the right-hand side for France. Stopped by Declan Rice. Out for a throw to France down the right-hand side. Koundé takes it quickly into the goal scorer, Tchouaméni, who's been hassled there by Jordan Henderson. Hassled too much, says the referee. A free kick which France have taken quickly. And here is Adrien Rabiot now. Juventus man over towards Hernandez. Also plays his club football in Italy for AC Milan. And France just quite happy to slow things down in midfield now. Upamecano in towards Ousmane Dembele. And Koundé now pushing forward down the right-hand side. France are about 40 yards out from England's goal right now, as a ball over the top from Dembele has got far too much on it. Koundé couldn't have got on the end of that if the pitch was 10 yards longer, and it's now out for a goal kick to England. 64 minutes gone. It is 1-1 here between England and France, and I'm just wondering which of the two managers is calmer at the moment, Deschamps or Southgate. I suppose they're both a little bit tense.
Well, I think they're probably tense. They're probably relatively calm. I mean, neither's losing, so it's, you know, what can we do to affect the game? I think they're both sort of confident in the composure of their players. I mean, if I'm Didier Deschamps, I might be thinking Mbappe needs to get a little bit more involved. He is their best player. I'd also be thinking that Dembele needs to do a little bit more. He's shown little glimpses as Saka doesn't get another free kick.
Yeah, I mean, Saka actually waving his fist at the referee there. He was furious that the referee didn't give a free kick. Now the free kick's been given for a slight foul on one of the French players. France have taken it very quickly, and they're away now down the left-hand side. Tukumeni finding Mbappe. Mbappe's got Walker and Henderson in front of him, going back towards Tukumeni. He now clips the ball into the penalty area, looking for Giroud, just a bit too much on that. And Giroud is losing his footing anyway. It's out for a goal kick to England.
Yeah, I mean, Saka's got to keep his head. It's not that it wasn't a foul or, you know, it should have been a foul. It's the fact that he reacted to the foul not given it. He's going to talk himself into a booking at this rate. And that would be a worry. But, I mean, I honestly think this is encouragement for England. You know, eventually the referee is going to have enough of the challenges. Whatever they are, however slight you think they are, he's not going to let everything go. And we've seen Foden draw a foul out of Tukumeni. We've seen Saka draw some fouls, not all of them.
Not all of them.
And it's just making the referee make a decision. I think England should give the ball to a dribbler, Saka, Foden, and say, I want you to run at that defender.
I agree. I think that looking at that replay, Saka had cause to be upset because both knees of Rabiot went into the back of Bukayo Saka there, so he was brought down, and that should have been given as a free kick to England, really. But as I say, the decision's been and gone. England have got to try and get on with it here. There's still plenty of time to win this game as a long ball over the top is headed away by Harry Maguire. England back in possession now with John Stones just inside the England half to Declan Rice. Ball over towards Henderson on the right-hand side. Goes back in towards Kyle Walker. England have just slowed things down momentarily here inside their own half. But there are a couple of French players just creeping forward. England have got to be careful here that they don't give the ball away too easily. They don't give too much encouragement for France to really set up camp inside their half. But now it's played back to Pickford, and that's too long from Pickford, which is a criticism that has been levelled at him in his Everton shirt as well. Just clears it long, and it's back with Lloris.
Yeah, that's not the first time they've targeted Foden with a long ball. Now, it seems strange, given Foden's up against Koundé, who's a centre-half. They've tried to play a few diagonals out there. Oh, Luke Shaw's just coughed up possession. Chance for France. Yeah,
chance for France as Griezmann now takes it. That's not a good ball from him, but it was missed by Bukayo Saka when it looked as though he was going to get possession. Hernandez now back towards Mbappe, who's in a more central role, back in the midfield really here, Mbappe. Hernandez again on the left-hand side. Options for him. Mbappe being stood up here by Bukayo Saka. Mbappe trying to switch play to pick out Dembele, which he does, but Dembele here takes it on first time with a pass. I mean, he could have actually just taken a touch there, Dembele. England can be thankful to him that he didn't, because he lost control of the ball and then Maguire clears it. But England just struggling to get the ball away at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, this is what the problem is with Dembele. Sometimes he looks like an absolute world beater, and then sometimes he's playing terrible passes, or I just think he could be a little bit more involved. France, for me, are not quite playing at full pace. I just wonder if the occasion is their problem. Obviously, a lot's been said about teams not defending World Cups, and they want to be able to do that. Brazil have gone. Other big teams have gone. Portugal gone from this half. They might just be thinking, if we can just get through England, you know, we're back in the final.
Absolutely.
Kind of thing, you know. No disrespect to Morocco, but you're talking about the favourites for the World Cup here. So I just think France are actually playing within themselves, probably more so than England.
I think that's a fair shout. I think that as it stands, England probably would like to see a bit more of the ball going forward, but France, for all their possession, aren't really getting enough attacking chances they'd like. And we mentioned that stat. England have had far more shots on target and far more efforts in general, as Saka with a slightly off, finally, ref, look about him as Hernandez brings him down. Saka wins England the free kick. It's about 35 yards out on the on the right-hand side, I should say. Good chance for England to cross the ball in, but we are over the three-quarter mark of the game as England 1-1 with France, and it will be Rob to take us through to full-time.
Yeah, cheers, Paul. It's around about 11 shots to 5 in England's favour. And England have had 7 on target. Not all of them have been firecrackers that needed absolutely brilliant saves, but obviously there's been some good ones from Hugo Lloris. England, importantly, are back on terms with a little under a quarter of the game left. You never know with added time at the end of the contest. And obviously, as things stand, extra time and penalties are a potential. Who has got the requisite quality in this final quarter as the delivery is in towards the penalty spot, headed towards goal, and it's just wide of the post from Harry Maguire, who's screaming to himself that he didn't hit the target. He was England's second top scorer in qualifying. That was a chance.
That was a chance, and we know that Maguire can be very dangerous from set pieces. Yeah, he was level. He's not offside when that ball is played in, unless they were going to find some tip of the shoulder offside. But it's a good header, and it actually hits that stanchion post. In fact, does that save from Lloris?
No, I think it hit the post.
Is that just flicking the post then, isn't it? But yeah, it's just the outside of the post there from Harry Maguire. Although a couple of England players, including Kane, had their hand up just in case. But it's Lloris now with the clearance.
Yeah, header won by Giroud. It's gone over the head of Mbappe, but it's needed headed clearances from Walker and Stones. And there's a fight for the ball, and Saka with a good flick finds Kane. He tries to set Saka away, but Hernandez has read the danger. He's got his body in the right place, goes back to Lloris, cleared downfield. England won it back on the halfway line with Declan Rice. Maybe England just getting back on top again. Now Declan Rice looks for a switch of play, and again it's Foden, and he's won the header. Luke Shaw's brought it down. It was a heavy touch. Foden can't go for it. He's offside, and so will be cleared by Dembele. Declan Rice has cushioned the header down for Harry Kane. England going back towards the halfway line. I don't know if it's something that's been spotted by others, because it's not the first time they've put aerial balls, Foden against Koundé.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I say Koundé isn't a natural defender, and perhaps he's not the most confident in the air. It's just a shame that Foden didn't pick himself up quicker there. He could have used that second ball, but here come England again.
Luke Shaw down the left, Foden's in the middle. Foden gets a low ball in towards the far post. Oh, and it's rifled home. It might not have counted because Saka could have given Hernandez a nut, but it's gone past the post, off the England man, or was it the French man?
Is it Hernandez that's got the final touch? Yeah, because they seem to be congregating just inside the penalty area. Oh, is that Hernandez getting a touch on that as he falls over? I still can't tell after seeing the first replay. Looking at the second replay,
it's difficult to work out. I think that's come off Saka.
Is that the knee of Hernandez or the right foot of Bukayo Saka? It was. In fact, I think he's been given either as an offside or a free kick, because it's either a foul or an offside, I should say, because it's Lloris taking a free kick from right about the penalty spot.
It's amazing the free kicks that Saka hasn't got, that he was penalised for that challenge. Just lent into the back of Hernandez, and it's a free kick. Unbelievable. As the ball is played into the box, Griezmann's won a header, but the referee has blown offside for Antoine Griezmann.
Yeah, in general, this game, I have to say, there haven't been too many offsides, but they're spotting them quickly, which is always good, because it's always frustrating when it takes a longer time for the decision to be made. But we're seeing that header from Maguire again. It was a decent effort. And that got Gareth Southgate up on his feet, applauding his players. Real scream of exasperation there, though, from Maguire when he realised just how close he was to putting his side within touching distance of the semi-final.
Pickford's gone long with the free kick, and Saka has just lent into Hernandez.
That free kick against Saka, of course, it is. Yeah, anytime that he dares to have contact with an opposition player, it's always going to be a foul. But it's just a shame that Saka can't expect the same sort of service the other way.
Deschamps got plenty to say. I'm not sure who to in particular. That's hit long by France, and that's going to bounce through to Jordan.
You'll have plenty to say about that as well, won't you, Deschamps?
Jordan Pickford, and England start again. So a little bit of scrappy, bit of possession, well, lack of possession really. France perhaps just losing their composure a fraction. Harry Maguire has it, floats it to the left-hand side to Luke Shaw. Down the line for Jude Bellingham, who's able to turn. Now further down the line for Luke Shaw, who's carried on the overlap. High ball this time towards the far post. Hernandez heads away. Henderson should keep it alive for England unless he shepherds it out of play for a throw, which he does. Maybe 20, 25 yards from goal. Takes it himself towards Jude Bellingham. He tried to let the ball run. Is he tugged back by Upamecano? Bellingham can't believe no foul given. It's through to Lloris.
Yeah, very sort of theatrical reaction there from Bellingham. I mean, the problem is that he's actually starting that move off by holding on to Upamecano himself, and that's probably why the referee and the linesman have figured it's half of one and 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, I think.
Declan Rice stops the ball getting through to Griezmann, not once but twice, but the second one is actually a lucky ricochet, and Griezmann now has it as he crosses the halfway line. Fires it out to the right-hand side, that's over hit towards Dembele, and substitutes are warming up for both sides, as you might expect. We're into the 75th minute of the contest. Can't be split, a what a piece. And, well, Mason Mount was in shots. I just wonder if Jordan Henderson is possibly in line for a substitution. Bellingham doesn't often see out 90 minutes, but England might need him.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what Gareth Southgate has in mind. We could see a player getting ready to come on. I think it was Grealish that we only got just a side-on view for a split second there. But Bellingham was getting a bit of a telling off from the referee as well, I think, just because he was so vociferous in his protests. But here come France now with Dembele down the right-hand side, puts the ball in. Giroud, in the meantime, hits the deck inside the box off the ball. Yeah,
cleared away by Kyle Walker. Rather awkwardly, but effective, as Tchouameni has picked it up. Mbappe back to Hernandez. Ball in towards the far post. Giroud got the head, but it was a glancing touch, not nearly enough. And it's wide of the post. And Giroud, I don't think he's talking to the linesman, but you never know. He's pointing to his eyes. So
well, I lip-read what Olivier Giroud said there, and there's no time of day where you could broadcast what he said, but it was something along the lines of open your eyes, with a couple of other words in there as well. I mean, there's a bit of contact from Luke Shaw on Giroud, but I just don't think that even if VAR had a look at it, they would say that Giroud's made the most of that.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. They didn't give England a couple of decisions in the first half. You never know with VAR. As Maguire starts to sprint forward from deep. He's trying to catch France unawares. Feeds it out to Luke Shaw on the left-hand side. Nutmeg pass to Bellingham, who's got 2 to beat. Just takes himself out of the area to get it onto his right foot. Now lays it back to Shaw. He swings it towards the far post. It's over Kane, headed away by Hernandez. It's past Saka, and Mbappe should collect inside his own half. They tried to go down the line towards Hernandez. Declan Rice got a foot in to at least halt momentum. But France still have possession, admittedly inside their own half. Mbappe finds Hernandez, who wriggles away from Kane, and England start again. We haven't seen the sidelines yet. Obviously, it looked as though England were preparing a substitution. Obviously, the ball needs to go out of play first, as Rabiot brings it forward for Les Bleus. Down the left to Mbappe. Goes past Saka, reverse pass to Rabiot onto his right foot. High hanging ball towards the far post. Dembele wins the first header. Side foot volley from Giroud. Brilliantly saved from Pickford. That's a gilt-edged opportunity for France. Pickford makes another big save. Just a corner.
Just a corner, but it looked dangerous for England there. Rabiot with the high hanging ball. Dembele heads it into the right space. Giroud is able to get his foot to that left-footed effort. He's doing his best to try and angle it away from Pickford, but because it was getting away from Giroud, he couldn't quite get it right into the corner, but take nothing away from Pickford. That's a great save, and France now with the corner.
Yeah, Giroud was being marked by Maguire, but the runner Griezmann caught Maguire's eye. Nobody had followed up to mark Giroud, as it's an away swinger towards the near post, headed away by Harry Kane. Foden tries to threaten Koundé for possession, so the pass is safe and back towards Hernandez, who feeds it out to Griezmann, who gets an early ball in towards the near post. It's Giroud who's got the header. He's gone clear on the France goal-scoring records now. And again, England had just caught short. Brilliant ball in from Griezmann. That's 2 assists for him. And could that be the game winner? Less than 13 minutes to go. It's England 1, France 2.
Well, there's time for England to come back, but you just feel as though France really are in the ascendancy now. And even some of the substitutes there have run across to celebrate with Olivier Giroud. As you say, he is now France's all-time record goal scorer. He was level before this evening, but England clearing the initial corner. It's played back over, and what a delicious ball this is from Antoine Griezmann. He plays it into exactly the right space. Is Giroud being marked properly here as this ball is whipped in? You've got to say Maguire gets to him, but it's too late. He's not goal side. Giroud has still got a clear sight of the cross. He can get the header across, and from that sort of distance, even though, in fact, it's going to be an own goal, I think. It definitely gets the final touch off Maguire, which actually straightens the ball out.
Yeah, difficult to work out from the angle, because it was an instant contact off Maguire. Giroud's head, then Maguire. France are, of course, going mental, the French fans. Giroud equally as ecstatic as he's pushing off teammates, almost in tears from one angle. The joy, tears of joy, but there's still 11.5 minutes to see out for France. They've been pegged back once. Time is against England. I imagine Gareth Southgate's going to turn to his bench.
He's got to, Rob. The players on the pitch, they're going to be tired now. They need a little boost, and there's plenty of attacking options for England on that bench, whether it's Grealish, whether it's Rashford to come on, Mason Mount, although he's been played more in the midfield rather than an attacking role, but he can certainly come on and do something in a creative role as well. But whatever England are doing, have they made a change already, Rob?
Yeah, I think Mount's on for playing on right side of midfield, so I'm thinking Henderson, but that was from kick-off. We haven't had confirmation yet as Rabiot wins a header. It's a decent header as well. Giroud flicks on, Griezmann's offside.
Is Sterling on as well?
Kyle Walker clears, but England were retreating to get back on side. Henderson and Saka have both been replaced. Mount and Sterling are on, so it's a new right side for England. I might argue Saka was England's most dangerous player, although he wasn't winning free kicks, so get Grealish on. He can't stop winning free kicks. Well, England need to do something. That's the double change that Southgate has made. Ball in towards Mount. Oh, that's a shove in the back. What's the referee going to do?
Referee.
He's just running to the back of him. The referee's running away. He's not listening to England. Whether Mount went down very easily is open to question, but he wasn't playing the ball. The ball's gone through to Lloris and play continues. Dembele has been replaced incidentally for France by Kingsley Coman.
Well, that's as I say, that's almost a like for like, isn't it? Coman's just as attacking as Dembele is. That's a fresh worry for England on that right hand side. But let's have a look here. I mean, that's not a shoulder to shoulder. That's a shove in the back. How can that not be a penalty?
10 minutes to go. England have not had a fair rub of the green in terms of refereeing decisions. The big ones have gone the way of France, I would say that. I like the fact he's not giving free kicks, but sometimes you have to give obvious free kicks.
Well, now that we have got a break in play now, as VAR is going to check this penalty. I mean, it is a shove from. I just saw Giroud, and the referee's going to have a look at the monitor. So that usually means that potentially we could be seeing a second penalty.
Seen it in this tournament, though. Referee called over, decides he's not going to change his mind. I mean, it's entirely up to the referee. But Hernandez isn't even looking at the ball. He runs into the back of Mount. He knocks him over. He's still not looking at the ball. I don't understand how this can't be a penalty. I'm not saying that as an England fan. I'm just saying this from the pictures I'm seeing.
It's difficult to understand how that can be seen as a shoulder to shoulder. Mount is looking up at where the ball is. Hernandez is only looking to see where Mason Mount is, and I think the referee is going to do the little box with his hands, and we're going to get a second penalty here.
I think he's given a penalty. He has given a penalty. I don't think there's any doubt. I don't think France can complain. It's not a sort of coming together. He's looking at the back of Mount. He's charged into it. And I don't see how that England are asking for yellow cards. They need to cut that out. But they've got the penalty. It looks like it's going to be Harry Kane versus Hugo Lloris for a second time.
Yeah, Harry Kane against Lloris for a second time. The England players are demanding a red card here for Hernandez. I'm not sure that it's going to be a red card. It is going to be a yellow card, though, for Hernandez. He's still saying it's a shoulder-to-shoulder. Not a chance. Absolutely not a chance. He has shoved his man in the back. And it's absolutely the right decision. And Kane now has the chance to become England's all-time goal scorer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy Hernandez decision. It's one thing sort of getting in the way and just easing him out. But this is head down, shoulder in the back, give him a push. I just don't understand what is going through his head. Your side's winning with 10 minutes to go in a World Cup semi-final. What is he doing?
Well, you can see the England bench. Callum Wilson, I think, was the first one on that England bench, just in the back of shot there, absolutely leaping to his feet, convinced that it should be given as a penalty. It has been given as a penalty, and now David Beckham up in the stands. He can't even look. He sat next to Yuri Djukayev, of course, French legend in his time. But Harry Kane now with a glorious chance here to put England level with just 7 minutes to play.
Yeah, Hugo Lloris has made some big saves. He didn't stop the first Harry Kane penalty, though. Obviously, that VAR check and subsequent delay of the penalty. I mean, the penalty was given about 2 minutes ago. They haven't taken it yet, so there will be some stoppage time. But 7 minutes remain. Can Harry Kane level matters for a second time from the penalty spot? Don't forget, against club teammate Hugo Lloris. Beat him earlier on in this half, shortly after half-time, and around about the 53rd minute. Half an hour later, he's got a second chance. It seems to be a long way. Up he steps. Oh, and he's blazed it over the bar.
Oh,
he's blazed it over the bar. He's gone high again. England can't believe it. It remains England 1, France 2. 6.5 minutes to go. Bellingham quickly to Harry Kane. But that's a big opportunity spurned by England.
It is a big opportunity. Kane has missed a few penalties for England, but they tend to be low penalties that are saved. It's very rare for Harry Kane to actually miss a penalty by missing the goal altogether. There's already a couple of young England fans in the stands that are in tears. I mean, it's one of those, Rob. We'll see from this replay behind the goal, it's never close, is it? He's lifted it a long way. It's not like it's shaving the bar and then going over. This one is a good couple of yards over the bar when it reaches the goal. It's not a good penalty from Harry Kane. The pressure got to him, and I mean, Mason Mount's still arguing with one of the French players about whether it should be a penalty or not. That doesn't really matter anymore now. But in the meantime, England have made a change. Phil Foden is off to be replaced by Manchester United's Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, chance, not much of a chance. 5.5 minutes. England need a goal from somewhere. It wasn't Foden's best game, but obviously Harry Kane still could have levelled matters from the penalty spot. Luke Shaw's got a throw in for England. Just over 5 minutes to go. As I say, there will be a fair bit of added time. I would have thought it took forever to give the penalty. It took forever to take the penalty. And maybe it just took too long because Harry Kane wasn't even close. Going way over the bar, a couple of yards. And well, England have still got it all to do. Hernandez with a bit of a let-off. That was a silly challenge. Luke Shaw goes down the line for Rashford, but it's intercepted by Koundé. Bellingham's won it back. Finds Harry. Oh, foul given against Bellingham. Bellingham can't believe it. I do not think that England will be sending many cards to this referee. Christmas cards?
No, I don't think they will. Although, I mean, it's, as I say, we'll see from this angle here. I mean, there's nothing. But Bellingham does have a leg up, but there's not too much in that one, really. France now having a debate amongst themselves who's going to take this free kick on around about the halfway line. They're trying to eke out a few extra seconds here as Lloris is going to take long. But considering that we had 4 minutes of added time in the first half, we've actually had quite a few stoppages in this second half, so I'm expecting 7 or 8 here, I would say.
Ball launched into the box. Giroud tries to nod it down for Mbappe. Maguire clears, though, as a fight aerially for the second ball. Hernandez heads it forward, but Kyle Walker, well, knocks it past Giroud. Is then clipped by the former Arsenal and Chelsea forward. Thumbs up from Giroud. He knew it was a free kick. And obviously it's deep inside the England half.
Yeah, a bit cynical that from Giroud. If that trip had been a little bit more pronounced, he could have expected even a yellow card for that. We can see from this angle here, it's not a good penalty from Kane. He has absolutely skied that over the bar, to much to the delights of Kylian Mbappe.
John Stones has it. 3.5 minutes of the 90. We saw, what was it, 10 minutes last night, 11 minutes. Another strong challenge. Rabiot through the back of Mount. This will be a free kick to England, halfway inside the France half. Opportunity to launch it into the box. Really can't do much more than that at this late stage. Mason Mount needs to think about the clock as he's going to take this free kick. Harry Kane will be having nightmares about that penalty. If it hit the woodworks, one thing and missed, but that was way over the bar. Hugo Lloris might spend the next 6 months reminding him at training, as it's hit long towards the far post. Maguire wins the first header. Giroud beats Bellingham to the ball. It's a bit of an up and under. Maguire gets a nudge from Koundé. That was theatrical from Maguire. Bellingham, though, has tried to win the second ball. It's not come off a French leg. So it is going to be a throw in to France deep inside their own half with a little under 2.5 minutes to go of the 90.
Yeah, Gareth Southgate still trying to encourage his players here in these final minutes. It's desperately frustrating here for England. They had the chance. We should really be talking about England being 2-2 here with France already. But let's not speak too soon. England win the ball back in midfield.
Bellingham under a little bit of pressure. Good ball to Mount in a bit of space. He's thinking about shooting. He will shoot, but he can't keep it down. That's over the bar. It opened up for him. There was nobody closing him down. He struck better, but England are desperate.
He's scored goals like that from that sort of range for Chelsea on more than one occasion, Mason Mount. In this sort of situation, I mean, he's right to go for the shot there, albeit there were 3 or 4 England players arriving in and around the penalty that he could have tried to pick out as well.
So 90 seconds of the 90. It might take that long for Hugo Lloris to take this goal kick. It's been an absorbing contest. England have had their chances. Hugo Lloris has come up big. Pickford's made a couple of saves. Giroud's come up trumps as well. And unfortunately for England, Harry Kane has only scored one of the 2 penalties. Maguire's used his arms to win a header over Griezmann. This will be a free kick to France and a yellow card for Maguire. Not sure what Mbappe is trying to argue, but it's a yellow card.
Yep, booking here for Harry Maguire. Say no England player was on a warning from an earlier game, so this won't matter too much in the grand scheme of things. Maguire just judged a bit too physical with Griezmann there.
It's amazing what France have arguably got away with the contact compared to England. I do like the idea of the referee, but I think it's got to be consistent. Not sure he has been. 30 seconds of the 90. France are in no rush to take it. There will be added time. There was 4 at the end of nothing first half. Ball into the box. Giroud wins the flick on. Mbappe tries to turn stones. It's blocked by the City defender. And now England will try and break. But 90 minutes is almost up as Kyle Walker clips it down the line. Sterling has just about kept it in. That's all he could do. Now there's a fight for the second ball. Then he lost his balance in a fight with Kylian Mbappe, who's now held out by Rabiot. Mount has brought down Rabiot. A little bit of contact. Another free kick. Gone the French way. And we're going into stoppage time.
We are. My prediction is 7 minutes for the second half. And I'm out by 1. It's actually going to be 8.
Yeah, there had to be a fair bit. We've had subs. We've had a VAR check. Obviously, there seemed to be quite the 2 VAR checks for 2 penalties, of course, that England got. France will be in no rush to take this, obviously. England just need to get back 10 yards, get the play restarted. Sterling, get back 10. I mean, it's schoolboy, really. Give them no excuses for not taking a free kick. 30 seconds of 8 minutes of stoppage time have passed. Griezmann, 2 assists. As plays the ball into the box. Rashford heads clear. Rabiot heads it back into the danger area. Maguire gets it away. It's over Kane. And France will have it back. Hernandez diagonal out towards Griezmann, who gets a flick on down the line for Mbappe, who's going to take it to the corner flag. Up against Kyle Walker. It shimmies one way, shimmies the other. He still has possession. Mbappe then slipped at the vital moment, and Sterling has come to dispossess him. Finds Declan Rice as well, as who's been harassed by Giroud legally on this occasion. England can't clear their lines. Rice eventually finds Walker, who hits it long. Flicked on by Kane to Rashford. Back to Kane. Space on the left-hand side for Luke Shaw. Bellingham's through the middle. Rashford's arriving. Mason Mount's far post. Stood up towards that far post. Oh, and England get a lucky corner, I think. It looked to be too close to Hugo Lloris, but he slightly misjudged it. Bit of a flap, and it's defended behind the corner.
It was sort of up in the air already. Then he realised he didn't actually need to make the save, but it was already too close to the ball. There was an England player very close to him, so he figured he might as well just get a hand on it and make sure that it at least goes out for a corner rather than still be lurking inside the penalty area. But we need a good delivery from Luke Shaw here now.
2 minutes of stoppage time played. 8 minutes to come, minimum, they say. And Luke Shaw with an in-swinger from the England right. It's in towards the 6-yard box, headed away, though, powerfully by France. I think it was Upamecano back there with a good header up towards the halfway line. England will have to come again. At the lion's share of possession and shots, England, of course, missing from the penalty spot. They'll be disappointed with the second goal. Maybe the marking wasn't quite tight enough as Sterling now whips it across. This time Lloris comes and makes the claim. There's an England player on the deck, but I don't think he's going to get a third penalty of the game. Maguire can't stop appealing for everything.
Yeah, he's pulled my arm is the lip reading I'm getting there from Harry Maguire. He feels as though he was being impeded in that last bit of play. We'll have a look from the replay here. It's against Rabiot. Rabiot is holding Maguire on the arm, but it's not enough to bring Harry Maguire down, and here come France.
Yeah, Kingsley Coman just under pressure from Luke Shaw, can't keep possession. Declan Rice is bringing it clear, but England will have only got stoppage time left, and they've just conceded a throw-in. I thought that came off Rice last. The referee must think he's done England. No, it is a throw-in to France. For a moment, I was wondering if he's going to penalise France. Of course, there's now a conflab about who's going to take the throw-in. Winner's problem in the stoppage time at the end of a very tight game. France edging it by 2-1, but England missing a penalty. Could have easily been on terms Have they got a chance left in them in 4.5 minutes of stoppage time to be played? Kyle Walker has it, but he's inside his own half. He's trying to bring it clear. Eventually finds Raheem Sterling. Clips it down the channel, trying to get to Mason Mount in behind. It's won by Hernandez, although Bellingham is trying to force a mistake. Hernandez comes away with the ball and just launches it downfield. And Kylian Mbappe, even he can't reach that one. Stones has it, but 4 minutes of stoppage time remain. England's quarter-final could be the end of the line in Qatar for Gareth Southgate's side. It's not for a lack of trying. They've bossed a lot of this game, but France do take some stopping. I'm sure the referee will come in under fire as Sterling gets to the byline, gets a cross in. Luke Shaw's threatening, it's headed away by Koundé, not particularly well. It's back to Shaw, who's now outside the box. Harry Maguire is thinking about crossing it. No, he gives it to Shaw. Cross towards the far post, too close to the keeper. Lloris makes the claim. More time ticks off the clock.
More time ticking down, and Lloris looks like he's in a bit of pain after making that save. But of course, this is all. He wouldn't be in this pain if France were 2-1 down now. Of course, he'd be sending that ball upfield as quickly as possible. But we can see the French fans enjoying themselves now in the stadium. They can sense that this victory is very close, as Giroud does well to hold the ball up. There's an England player down, but France are quite happy to play on. In fact, no, the referee has stopped playing because John Stones is in a bit of pain now.
Yeah, you'd think England haven't got time to wait, so France, I think, will sportingly put the ball out so that they can get it back. Harry Maguire is, again, arguing. I don't like to see it. I mean, obviously, England might not feel they've got the rub of the green. It's difficult to work out. He might have just landed awkwardly there.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. Giroud's done nothing wrong to Stones there. I think it's just the way he's put his left foot down. I think he might have caused himself some pain in his knee or his ankle. And he's just needing a moment here to get up. But time really is ticking away here. We'll get extra added time for this, but the England fans looking very concerned now.
Yeah, he might need a bit of treatment. That's the problem. Obviously, time is ticking away in added time. They might add on a little bit more. Who knows? It's an England injury. It's not a France injury. So that's why I'm thinking the injury could be, relatively problematic for John Stones. He's not really moved an awful lot. This appears to be his left shin. Whether he strained something. Jack Grealish is getting stripped and ready to come on. Of course, England won't have the ball. You never know. They might just keep hold of possession. Of course, it's their World Cup that's running out. But France did put the ball out. But that appears to be a change that's coming. Grealish for Stones. I just fear he's back on his feet now at least, John Stones. But he is hobbling gingerly to the sidelines. And, 97 minutes have been played. There's meant to be 8 added minutes of stoppage time.
8, but I reckon we'll probably get up to about 10 here, don't you think, Rob, with the time we've lost in injury time?
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know. They might have a drop ball. The referee, I think, just wants to make the change, or allow England to make the change. Yeah. Grealish is ready to come on. Stones is the one that's going to go. That would be a worry if you were defending longer than a minute. But England are trying to attack. They need a goal somewhere. And that is the change. Grealish has come on. Obviously, it'll be disappointing, but if he can get enough for the ball and try and affect a high turnover, one last chance, who knows? England might get an equaliser. Cleared by Lloris downfield. Maguire wins the first header. Griezmann the second. There's a good header as well. Finding Mbappe, who's running towards the corner flag again. He's got the pace to get there before Sterling and Walker, and Sterling is not a judge to have fouled him. Again, it would be soft. Another referee would have given it, but I think the referee knows what Mbappe's trying to do, and he's not buying it. It's a little bit silly from Sterling, but it's hit long by Pickford, flicked on by Bellingham, headed away by Koundé. Bellingham tries to keep it alive, not for once but twice. Then I think that was Rabiot managed to head it clear, but Mount finds Sterling. about 25 yards out, right-hand side. Rice is coming in field, but he's been closely marked by Griezmann. Sterling has it, closed down by Mbappe. Can England get a cross in? We're into the 9th minute of stoppage time. It's not quite effective enough at the moment. Good French defending. Rice is trying to get away from Griezmann. It's an up and under. Somebody's got a challenge. He's headed away by Giroud to the edge of the box. Maguire thought about his shot. He's brought down at the edge of the D. This is a free kick opportunity that would suit a right foot. It was a little bit clumsy, but the threat of a shot drew the challenge. This could be England's last chance.
Could be England's last chance, and it's a clumsy one from Kingsley Coman. This gives England a great opportunity here, and Marcus Rashford immediately puts the ball down.
Yeah, it's a little bit like the challenge last night. Argentina on the Netherlands, desperate to get to the ball first, taking no prisoners. Will England go for goal? Of course, the Netherlands had a well-worked routine.
Such a brilliant goal that from the Netherlands to do that at that stage of the game as well, to have the nerve to do it and to actually pull it off. Whatever England are planning here, I hope that they've got it all worked out. Shaw and Mount are there as well, but it seems to me like Rashford's trying to measure this for a shot.
Yeah, England, they have had chances in this game. Lloris has had a big game. England have missed the penalty. Pickford's made a couple of saves as well, not as many as Lloris. And it's been a tough game for France, but they might just have had enough to see them through. What can England conjure from this free kick? Of course, it's a similar kind of range to the one Rashford scored against Wales, isn't it? There's a low block behind a pretty big wall, which would suggest Rashford perhaps needs to go goalkeeper's side. He's possibly too close in to go up and over. Who knows? It's coming. 10 minutes of stoppage time have been played. I think this will be the last kick of the quarter-final. And Rashford get the thumbs up now. He's gone for goal, and he's on the roof of the net. It's over the bar, and Rashford's disappointed. Lloris was just stood there watching, and that was inches above the crossbar. I think Lloris had gambled. He wasn't getting it. It's too high, much like the penalty, although it's closer to the goal than the penalty, but it's still off target.
It is off target, yeah, and it hits that top of the net. There won't be time for the goal kick, though. Referee calls time, and France are through to the semi-finals. England with a 2-1 defeat, Rob. It was a good effort, but just that penalty miss from Kane is what cost them in the end.
Yeah, full time. Harry Kane will be, he's down on his haunches. He can't believe it. Full time, England 1, France 2.